2nd chapter, a verse. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And there went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became 4 heads. The name of the first is the Pison, that which compasses the whole land of Havilah or Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and onyx stone. And the name of the second river is the Gihon, the same which compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Now we're talking about these 4 rivers that came out of Ethiopia. And these rivers that came out of the Garden of Eden. And we notice that Ethiopia is the first recognizable land mentioned in the entire Bible. I repeat, it is the first recognizable land in the entire Bible, because biblical scholars don't even know where Havilah really is. It is my conjecture that it is in Africa or either India, both lands of Cush. We can notice that by the Indus-Kush River and the Indus-Kush Valley, which are the most ancient Indian civilizations. We're talking about Kushite civilizations, where there's bdellium and onyx stone, and where there's gold, and the gold of that land is good. And we know that bdellium and gold exists in Africa. We know that bdellium also exists in India. I'm not certain of how much gold deposits that exist in Ethiopia, but I do know that the gold of this land is good, and I know that the gold of Africa is the best gold in the world. So we're talking about how Ethiopia is the second river in conjunction with the Garden of Eden, the land and the grounds which the first man was made from, right here in Ethiopia. Has the out of Africa theory been disproven? The answer is no. The out of Africa theory has not been completely disproven. I repeat, it has not been completely disproven. But recent research suggests that it might be more complex than previously thought. But recent research suggests that it might be more complex than previously thought, with evidence indicating that modern humans may have emerged from multiple groups in Africa rather than a single population, potentially leading to some intermixing with earlier hominid populations outside of Africa. This means the original out of Africa model might need refinement based on new genetic findings. So the out of Africa theory has not been debunked. In fact, it is made more complex, and the idea of one single gene in Africa that every man came from, it is being disproven. It is many different families within Africa, which makes Africa the motherland. This fact, these findings, these factual findings solidify Africa as the motherland more than any other. This strengthens the out of Africa theory. And it is out of this strengthening that the out of African theory, this model, it might need refinement. So key points to consider: strong evidence for African origin. Most scientists still agree that the majority of evidence points to modern humans originating in Africa. Fossil discoveries challenging the timeline. Recent fossil discoveries, like a jawbone found in Israel, suggest earlier migration out of Africa than previously proven, potentially indicating multiple waves of migrations. Now, it's funny how these recent fossil discoveries, like this jawbone found in Israel, how it suggests earlier migrations out of Africa. That's funny because out of all the people in the world, the blacks and the Africans are the people of all the people in the world who is least suspected and least respected or even suppressed and oppressed from being Israelites. Something to think about. Genetic analysis indicating complexity. Studies of DNA suggest that modern humans may have descended from multiple groups within Africa, with some interbreeding occurring between populations. So, ladies and gentlemen all around the world, the out of Africa theory has not been debunked. It has not been proven. The idea that blacks are not Israelites has not been proven. And these further researches and genetic studies are solidifying these findings greater and stronger than one could possibly imagine. This is for all of those who chose science over religion.